Good afternoon. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. Remember, you can always send email to donna@donnasedge.com. I'm always tickled to get it, so thank you so much for sending messages. And so what I've received from several of you are, what can I do with the kids in the summertime? They're all keyed up and they get bored really quick when they're home from school. And of course, you can always do like I was growing up. You bored? Let me go ahead and stick a hoe in your hand and you can go ahead and start weeding out the garden. But if you don't want to go quite that far, there are all kinds of alternatives. And one of those is making your own air dry clay. And what I mean by that is the air dry clay, you don't have to stick it in the oven. It's just something you could just make up. And look, it's as hard as a rock. You can put a little paint to it if you'd like to. Whatever you'd like to do. This will keep the kids busy for hours. And so I made up a few things just to show you. You can make a pair of earrings if you'd like, just anything. This one could be a bracelet. I could put it, around a tin can if you don't want to throw your tin cans away, and make a gift out of it. Whatever you can use for your imagination. Make little people out of it, little stick animals, just all kinds of things. Let your imagination go wild. So let's go ahead and show you a video really quick, and then when we get back, I'll go over the ingredients. And it's only 4 ingredients to this, and it's something you don't have to worry about if they put it in their mouth. Hopefully they're not going to put it in their mouth, but anyway, it does include some white glue. Let's go ahead and look at this video real quick. Hey guys, so here we are. I'm going to make a polymer clay. And it's a homemade air dry clay, so only a few ingredients in it. Calls for 3/4 cup of white glue, and it needs to be white glue, and it could be any brand, it doesn't matter, but as long as it's white. And I'm using the old Elmer's glue, so any kind of a school glue would work for it. You'll also need 1 cup of cornstarch. Remember, cornstarch is different from your regular powders, okay? So let's go ahead and put the cornstarch into the pan. This is a great thing you can do with the kids. Let them see you make this, and they'll play with it for hours. You can use food coloring to make it different colors if you'd like. But what I'm going to do with this, I collect tin cans, and so I've painted this can black, and then I went on ahead and put a matte white on top of it. So what we're going to do is make this. It's going to be kind of like a farmer, kind of a kitchen, your country kitchen kind of a thing, but I'm going to make it and put candle wax in it. So I'll use some of the beef tallow for that. We'll put a little bit of beeswax in there just to make it a little bit harder. Then what we're going to do, after the 1 cup of cornstarch, I'm going to add 3/4 cup of white glue. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, but it's easy. I'm just telling you how easy this is. Now immediately I'm going to turn to the sink, and I'll go ahead and put this in because I don't want any of the glue. Because I might be talking to you and forget I'm on Earth, and there I've got white glue saved on my on this really nice thing I use here. Make sure you clean it real good. Okay, so that's ingredient number 2. Now ingredient number 3, we're going to use 2 tablespoons of baby oil. Okay, you can also, I'm using mineral oil. Any kind of oil would work with this, but I kind of like the mineral oil, I like the way it looks. Okay, there's 1. And let's go ahead and put 2. There you go. Now what we're going to do is put this on the stove. Well, before I do that, I've got one more ingredient. And that is going to be my vinegar. So let me run to the counter, get some vinegar. And I'm back. So we're going to add 1 tablespoon of white vinegar, and it can be your store brands, nothing elaborate here, nothing fancy, nothing like that. Okay, so what I'll do is go ahead and turn this little stove on. right here. It needs to be on low heat. I'm going to mix this up right here. And then put it on the eye. So what I'm going to do is keep this on low heat. And what I want this to look like is it's going to resemble mashed potatoes. So it may take just a few minutes to do that. We'll see how it works. But again, on low heat now, okay? And then, after it looks kind of like mashed potatoes, I'll take it off the stove. And I'm going to show you what you can do next. Okay, now while this is kind of heating up, so you can see how it's looking, but now it's going to have to look smooth. See how that looks almost like homemade ice cream right there? I want it to be a smooth texture. And then what I'm going to do on this can, I'm going to leave it white because this is going to be a totally different color. I'm going to add some words on here, and I'll use something like this, and I'll press the clay down into this little mold right here and let it set now for 24 hours. I usually like to let mine set for 48 hours just to give it a little bit more staying power, a little more oomph. Okay, I'll not bore you with the details here. I'll go on ahead and have this on the stove, let it do its thing, and I'll be back in just a few minutes and let you see what it looks like. So there you go. It's that easy. And the only ingredients you need, and I'll go ahead and give you those requirements again. Okay, 3/4 cup of white glue. And it can be any cheap glue. Go with Elmer's, go to the Dollar Tree, whatever. 3/4 cup of white glue. 1 cup of cornstarch. A lot of folks use flour. I like cornstarch. It just seems to do better. It doesn't get puffy. And also when you let it air dry, it's going to look almost exactly the same. A little bit of puffiness, but not much. And you may be able to see just a little bit better with this one. Okay, this is where I put just a little bit of paint, and you can see how that turned out. Now you can paint the whole thing. Another thing you can do is put food coloring in with the mixture. Like if you wanted everything to be green, if you just wanted to make a bunch of different colors of whatever, you can do that as well. Okay, so 3/4 cup of white glue, 1 cup of cornstarch, 2 tablespoons of baby oil. This keeps it from cracking. And then 1 tablespoon of either lemon juice or vinegar. I always do vinegar, and just whatever you choose. Okay, so that's the recipe. And we're going to have another video in just a few minutes after we go into a break, but I wanted to show you something. Now this is some clay that was actually made, and by the way, I like to keep it airtight, okay? So air can be an enemy, so make sure you keep it airtight. This is some clay. I made this 7 days ago. So I just want to show you how easy this stuff is to work with. Okay, just like so, and watch. I'm tearing this off, and so see what I'm about to do with it? It still works. And again, if you're afraid for the kids to play around with an oven or whatever, this is the perfect stuff to use. Now, I use it and just put it in molds, and you can make jewelry out of it. You can make, if you like to make little men or little stick animals or whatever, you can do that as well. You can also roll this out, and I'll go on ahead and show you what I'm talking about. You can just roll it out with a rolling pin, just a typical rolling pin. And again, see how soft that is? It's still workable. Okay, so what you're doing is you're teaching the kids a couple lessons. First of all, you're teaching the kids you can make your own clay. Okay, you don't have to go to the store and buy it. So go ahead and make your own clay. You can make little flowers out of this. There's so many things. I mean, look at this. This alone will look like a flower when I play around with it. This can look like a rose. Okay, and just again, different things you can do. You can use regular acrylic paint to use for the color, or food coloring. And food coloring is probably less messy. Now when you start getting the color, food color and all that out, make sure the kids wear gloves, okay? And make sure they have old clothes they're making this with. This will make a lot of stuff. And once it's rolled out, and once I put it into a mold, or I just make a little stick man with it, whatever, it's going to be exactly what I'm looking for. Now, I do 2 things to store it. Okay, first of all, I just use just regular old saran wrap. And so I stick it in like this, and you can put it in a big ball, just whatever works for you. I like to do it this way, flatten it as much as possible. I stick it in a good freezer bag, just like this. Okay. Key is you have to get all the air out you possibly can. So this is what I do. I'll go ahead and flatten it out on the counter, and I'll go ahead and press it like this. Okay. I'll make sure I've got all the air out possible. Again, you need to use good bags for this. Now, another thing I could do is I could press all the air out and just twist it and put a tie. That'll get the air out for you. Now, see, I have twisted it. See, there's still some air. See there, that can be an enemy in the long run. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and gently open this right here in the middle. Let some of that air get out of there. Again, I'm squeezing. Get right back here. Put it back together, and it's airtight. Again, that's extremely important that you do it this way. Let's cut into a commercial break, and then we'll come back with a couple more videos, and you're going to watch me flatten it out. You're going to watch me put it in a mold. I'll be back in just a minute.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Time flies when I'm with you. I mean, that's just the way it is. But thank you so much for watching Donna's Edge. My name is Donna, and I am your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show. Let's go ahead and get to the second video. I think you're going to really be intrigued with how you can do this. And it's not just a kid's thing, okay? I'm not a kid, and I love projects made with this. So let's go ahead and look at the next video. Okay, so now you can see this resembles mashed potatoes. And this is a beautiful clay to work with. I didn't put it on my counter. I like to use a piece of wax paper. And then just like you bread dough or maybe your pie dough, I'm just going ahead and put a little bit of the starch, cornstarch, right here on the, and start kneading it just like you would bread dough. Now you're going to know you've kneaded it enough, and we could have to add a little bit more cornstarch. Now it'll be fine if we do. So here's some right here to the little bit of excess. We're going ahead and put it down here. Now it has a beautiful smooth texture to it. I love this. So this is not like just for kids to play with. This is some clay that you can make home decor with. And see how beautiful it is? I love it. And you'll know that you have it kneaded enough. I even like to do it with my hands. When it stops being sticky in the middle, and we're almost already to that point. Now I let this stay on low heat for just about 2 minutes. That's all it needs. So take a look at this. It's just a beautiful clay. Okay, and again, now this is an air clay. So this is not, you don't have to worry about heat with the kids and those things. They can make all kinds of little toys with it. I mean, your kids are going to have a blast with this stuff. Now, I like to keep it in plastic. See, I'm almost to the point. See how beautiful that is and smooth? Now, I like to break it apart like this. And see, there's still a little bit of tackiness. So let's go ahead and put just a little bit more. And remember, with cornstarch, just a little bit goes a long way. So you don't want to have to put a whole lot on it. So, yeah, kind of tore there in the middle, but that's fine because I'm using my hands anyway. Okay, and it's not a toxic smell either. You know, I wouldn't recommend this if it was. So here we go. I'm kneading it up. It's just, again, it's just a beautiful clay, and it's malleable. Look at this. Now it's still a little sticky, so I still need to do a little bit more work with it. But see how that, it's just beautiful. And I could put this inside a mold real easy, and it's going to pop right out. It's just, it's beautiful. See, it's still a little bit tacky. So let's go ahead and knead it some more. I may add just a, you'll know, it'll have a feel to it when it's the way it should be. Now this is not something you want to leave like forever. You want to work with it at least in the next couple of weeks or so. And also this is, it's still a little bit warm to the touch. So as it cools off, it's going to be a little easier to work with as well. Oh, it's about to be that point, I think. Again, I'm taking it apart. I want to feel, okay, it's not tacky. Okay, now what I want to do, I'll get some plastic, and I'm just going to form a little ball, like that. Kind of like you do bread dough. See, it's not breaking up. That lets me know I've done what I should do. It's ready. You can let it cool off just a little bit and roll it out with a dough roller, you know, whatever you've got. You can use a cola bottle. I mean, just whatever you've got on hand. And this will make a lot of projects, just this once. Now, again, this is calls for 3/4 cup of white glue, 1 cup of cornstarch, 2 tablespoons of baby oil, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice or vinegar. I choose the vinegar every time. Okay, and I feel like the vinegar or the lemon juice kind of preserves it as well. So again, this will, once you make something with it, Oh, and I wanted to give you one more idea on something. So let's just say I wanted to make this, okay? I'll go ahead and press it down into the mold, and I'm just going to show you real quick what you can do if you wanted to put it on something round, like this tin can. Okay, let's break off another little piece, and I'm going to put it right here. Okay, so if it's something you want to be round, and by the way, you'll need to press it down like this on the hard surface. And if you have a little bit left over here, that's fine. You can take a file and file it down. Okay. And what you can do is just take it out of here. Oh, I think I need to do a little bit more to it. See, that's still sticky. That's a good lesson for us right there. Okay, let's add a little bit more. So you don't want any stickiness to this at all. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, see how that's stuck in here even though I thought I had it ready? If it's stuck in there, it's not ready. Okay. It takes just a few minutes to get it rocking and rolling, but see how beautiful and smooth that is. I mean, it's as smooth as it can be. Okay, let's see what happens now. I'm going to take just a little piece. Is it still sticky? You just have to knead it just a little bit more. If it is, this piece of paper there. Okay. Alright, here we go. Let's go ahead and flatten this out. May have to clean this before I can really show you what I want to show you. We'll just put it in part of it. Okay, I'm flattening that down. And again, don't worry about edges. You can always file that off. Okay, let's see if we can take it out this time. Oh, yeah. That's what I wanted. Okay, so you can see the little indentions in there. So let's just say I could let it dry in this mold, but here's the problem that's going to be if I let it dry in the mold, I won't be able to bend it. Okay, so I'm just kind of breaking away some of this excess, and I'm just going to smooth it just a bit. That just saves a little bit of filing time. Okay, now let's just pretend that I wanted this little decoration right here on the side of this can. What I'll do is lay the can down, and I'll just press this on here. I'm not worried about whether it sticks or not. I just want this to bend with this can. That's all I want. Okay, and then in 24 hours this thing will be hardened, and then I'll just get some epoxy or some glue and just glue it on there, and it'll stay, and put it with whatever decoration I want to put it with. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll go ahead and put this up and let it not be so sticky. I think it's probably okay right now, but I'll go ahead and find a mold that I want to use for this can, and then I'll show you what the finished product is. But again, this is such an easy clay to work with. See, look, it's not tearing. That's what you want in a clay. Thanks for watching. Okay, so we are back, and so this is the clay we made, and went on ahead and put it in plastic. Make sure you do that because air is definitely the enemy right here, okay? And also I like to double bag it. So I'll use just regular wrap like this, and I'll go ahead and put it in little pieces. And the reason I do that, it's just a little bit easier to get to and a little bit easier to break off, unless you're going to make something really big, something huge. Then I also like to keep it in one of these. It's a good freezer bag. It's not going to go in the freezer, but I like the way they're good sturdy ones. And again, you don't want to put all your work in here and get the kids all excited and they're ready to do something, and then it's hard. You can't do anything with it. So just to be safe and to be sure, I went on ahead and took off a little piece right here, and I'll probably not even wind up using that whole piece. I'll go on ahead and put this back in here. Again, I'm keeping it, okay, from drying out. Okay, so see how beautiful that is to work with. So you can use a rolling pin, you can use anything that's round. I just happen to have this. I got this at the $5 store one day. It was on 50-cent day. So I'll go on ahead and just kind of roll this out like that. See how easy it doesn't stick? I mean, it's like the perfect piece of clay. I can put it in, maybe get a cookie cutter and cut something out. Christmas trees, I mean, let your imagination go wild. Let your kids' imagination go wild as well. Okay, so I'd like for it to be just a little bit thicker. What I'm going to do, like I mentioned before, I want something round. I want something that's going to go on here. If I let it dry inside of this, the problem is it's going to be too hard. So I'm going ahead and break off a bigger piece. Okay, and I'll just kind of shape it to what I think it's going to be, kind of. And then I want it to be as much the same height, the same width as possible. So look at that, it doesn't stick to this. Okay, now all I'm going to do, I'm going to put it down in here, and I want it to be in every little crack and every little crevice. Okay, that's real important because it's going to be so pretty. Oh, and by the way, this is a good time you can go ahead and add food coloring if you'd like to this. And again, you know, it's not going to be, it'll be something the kids can handle. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and roll that into place. I'll go ahead and take it out. Be careful when you do this. You don't want it to tear. And voila. Isn't that a beautiful piece? Okay, now to make my life a little bit easier, what I'm going to do is tear away. See where it made the imprint? I don't know if you can see that or not. So I'm going to go ahead and tear this away as much as possible. And that way, it's just going to make it a lot easier. I won't have to file down near so much stuff. You can even get a knife if you want and cut it. But since I really don't have time to do that, and I need to show this video to you really quick, and you can just leave it like that if you wanted to. That would be fine. This is your creation. It's nobody else's. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to want it to be facing this way on the can. Now, I'm going to gently press it because this is how I want it to look. Okay, see what I'm talking about? I think I'm going to leave this part right in here, and then what I'll do is get some green paint. I can use acrylics and use whatever I've got, and then I'll paint this, and that'll be on my can for decoration. Now, got to leave it 24 hours, so I'll go ahead and set it right here. Set it right here. There we go. I'll go ahead and set it right there. We'll be checking back in just about 24 hours, and you'll see a finished product. Thanks for watching.
How easy was that? I mean, it's so easy to work with. And again, this clay has been made for 10 days and it's still really pliable and very easy to work with. And what I love about it is how it gets down into those little crevices, even on the most dainty molds. And it comes right out. But the key is you need to knead it as much as possible. When it stops feeling sticky, take it apart. When it stops feeling sticky on the inside, it's ready. So this is the finished product right here. I don't know if you can see it, if the lighting is going to allow that. But anyway, I went on ahead and see how it sticks. I mean, this is just really awesome stuff. I went on ahead and used just a little bit. It's just a cheap appleberry matte, and I like that. It's called nutmeg brown. That's the color. And so I just used a little napkin, dabbed just a little bit, did it the lazy way, just over the top part, whatever is sticking out. And it's staying. It is as hard as a rock. Hope you enjoyed it. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show. Can't wait to see you next time. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. You take care.